Joe, what's up?
Hey, been a long time chance to talk to you guys.
What up, man?
You were talking earlier what player you would like to see, baseball player. Let me tell you one player I don't want to see, okay? I do not want to see back-to-back games played by 39-year-old, 188 hitting Matt Carpenter.
Come on now.
What in the world is going on here, gentlemen? Here's the deal, okay? This organization, you have Brandon Crawford, you have Matt Carpenter, some guy named Fermin. Their bench is an embarrassment to Major League Baseball. Dylan Carlson, why is he still on the team? What does he do? He doesn't do anything.
He's a leader.
Because he's cheap.
Because they drafted him high and they don't want to admit a mistake.
I know it's an ask and answer question. But the point being is another disaster. And what does it say? Is anybody else but me not alarmed about Jordan Walker hitting 266 in the minors with 2 home runs? I mean, this was supposed to be your guy. I'm not going to give up on the guy. But, I mean, things are so bad on this team right now, you can't even bring him up. They're out. I mean, other than thank God for Burleson, Gorman, and Wynn right now, Arenado, what's going on there? I mean, 0 for 5 again last night. I mean, there are some major, major concerns about this team. And they got nothing in the minors. Nothing. No pitching. Where is Chrysopoulos? Where is he? Oh, he's 24 years old, not good enough to make the team. You're putting Palante as your 5th starter. I've been around a long time, guys. Their minor league system must be pathetic. That they got nothing besides Carpenter and Crawford and Palante and Ciani. These are the guys you're playing? Really?
And pitching-wise, all these guys, the Graceffos of the world, the McGreevies of the world.
I think McGreevy's horrible this year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no depth at AAA. Back in the day, they used to always bring somebody up from AAA who all of a sudden could give you a start and be good or be a good reliever. And that's why you see what they did with Liberatore, where they gave him a couple starts. And even Palante, it's early, but all of those things, they're doing that because they don't have any rotation depth whatsoever. All of these high draft picks over the last couple of years, none of them have panned out.
No, and that's why Mozeliak, needs to move on. That this organization, if ever needed a fresh set of eyes, it'd be this one. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, come on. What more do we need to see here? I mean, everything is just look. They're lucky they're in their division they're in. We all know that. But the last thing I will say is everything I just said. The way Wynn's going and Gorman's going and Burleson's going, if our 2 quote-unquote stars, Goldschmidt and Arenado, were doing anything at all, this team would be over 500. Thanks.
All right, big dog. That's Big Joe right there.
You know what?
He don't play around.
He's spitting facts.
He's spitting straight facts.
Everything he said was true.
That's Joe.
So this is McGreevy's 3rd full year. Obviously it's not a full year yet, but this will be because I'm not going to count the half year after he got drafted, after he was playing college baseball. But this is year 3 for McGreevy in the minor leagues, and he's got a 5.54 ERA at AAA. And that's actually better than I thought it was because it was previously a lot worse.
And he also doesn't have the type of electric arm that you could transition to the pen. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes if you draft a righty that throws 98, you can say, all right, we want this guy to be a starter. But if it doesn't work out, okay, he can be hopefully a high-leverage reliever. I don't think McGreevy's even that.
I'll have to look up Graceffo and see what he's been up to. But that's not very inspiring.
Last I looked was the guy I always pronounce his name incorrectly.
Sem Roberts. Robersa.
Is it Roberts? I thought it's Roberse. Mozeliak said it the other day.
I know. Everybody pronounces it different.
But he's having a good year last I looked.
And then Graceffo's got a 4.42 ERA too, so that's not
horrible.
No.
But even you can throw in Zach Thompson into the mix of this conversation. You can throw in Liberatore to the mix. You don't usually draft first-round starters, guys like that. And we're saying, okay, Liberatore's a nice reliever, but also you traded Randy Arozarena for him. Zach Thompson was a late first-round pick, I believe, out of Kentucky, correct? So you have a lot of, McGreevy was a first-round pick. There's a lot of guys who are not really contributing much at all at the big league level.
That's a shame.
And let's do, just for fun, a little Victor Scott update. What's he been up
what's
to
he
the
up to?
AAA level? 215 batting average. So,
Oh, God.
need I say less?
What's going on down there, Charlie?
Moises Gomez, too. A name we haven't heard in a while. 188 batting average.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations. You're on the unemployment line soon.
Remember last year, though, people were like, Moises Gomez, he'd come up here and hit 40 bombs.
Yeah.
Then he gets DFA'd, and I don't think anybody picked him up. And
it's
big,
the-
hey,
People
it's
were
a big
saying that?
difference. Well, I think, didn't he have the year? How many homers did he have the 1 year in the minors? Did he have 40? Something crazy.
I am looking it up soon.
All I'm saying is it doesn't translate. There's a big gap between AAA and the majors. There's a lot of guys who are 4A players, and they just can never come up here and do anything similar in the big league.
39.
He had 39 bombs, 2 years ago?
Yep.
And then didn't nobody pick him up?
And then had 30 last year as well. Well, that's odd. And then one more just for fun, Luke and Baker. Let's figure out
Good old Lucan.
where the heck he's at. All right, so obviously he's a power hitter, so you know his average on can be very good. I don't know if you were expecting 224 bad, but his OPS is, with that 224 average, is still 852.
For fun.
How many home runs?
14. So he's knocking the cover off the baseball when he makes contact.
Yeah.
But
For fun.
it appears that he's not doing much of that.
I'm going to tell you about a player who's known as the King, a famous Toledo Mudhen. True story. His name is Mike Hessman. Heard of this name? Mike Hessman played in the majors from 2003 to 2010. So over 5 years, he only played 109 games. He never played more than 32 games in a season. He hit 14 career home runs in the major leagues with a 188 batting average. Let me show you his minor league stats. In the minors, how many home runs does this guy have in the minors?
Dun, dun, dun,
Trying to
dun,
find
dun,
it. Basically, he's the king. He's the king of minor league home runs. I mean, he hit 20, 30 home runs every single year. Why can't I find this total? It's not as good without the total. But my point is, this is a guy who hit 25, 30, 35 home runs every single year in the minors and couldn't do anything in the big leagues over several chances.
Really?
Oh, my God. 433.
433 career minor league home runs. Think about that.
Wow.
And he couldn't do anything in the big leagues.
And
That's how big the difference is between AAA and the big leagues.
Look at this. 433 home runs in the minors, 14 in the majors.
Damn, dude. You just can't. You can't swing that just a little bit quicker.
That's basically Moises Gomez.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and his batting average was crap, too. It was only 233.
I think at the end of his career, he was almost a player coach.
Oh,
the Toledo Mudhens.
At Toledo?
Yeah.
I think he was the manager at one point.
How many home runs do you think Aaron Judge will have at the end of the year? What's he got? 27 now. That dude.
He's got 27?
Dude, he's crushing it. Something like that. Something like that. Aaron Judge.
He's got 27 now.
Damn.
That almost sounds way too
Is that
impossible.
too possible?
He has 21.
21. My bad.
But still,
Well, I mean,
21.
no, but that's closer than I thought.
That's 6 extra. I screwed that up.
it's all right. 21
I mean,
in
June just
62
started.
games.
Dude.
So he's averaging a third of a home run a game.
Would you like to take on his contract for what he brings to the table, Charlie?
If I'm the Yankees?
No, if you're the Cardinals.
I mean, the answer is yes.
Really?
But is the last couple years going to look good? No.
How much money?
On pace for 55.
How much money are you going to make off that guy? He's hitting 55 bombs. He's 6'8". Like, how much money would the Cardinals make off of Aaron Judge?
But to me, it's more about the Cardinals need to be good.
Mm-hmm.
So if Aaron Judge helps them to be good, and I'm talking about 95 wins, but you don't need Aaron Judge necessarily to be good, right? I mean, look, if they had Aaron Judge, clearly it helps. But also you need a starter.
Totally.
Maybe you need 2 starters.
But okay, if Aaron Judge was on this here team now, would that place be packed every night?
That's a good question. I think another good question
Wow.
is if you
I say
add
yes.
if you add Aaron Judge
I agree with you,
to
Cole.
this team, how much better are they?
Like, and this is going to be crazy for me to even analogize this to Mark McGuire. But in 1998, what were the Cardinals doing? As far as like, because all I hear about is the 90s were the down years. But they turned it around eventually.
Tony turned it around.
Cole, everybody was watching Mark McGuire in the late 90s.
But were the Cardinals winning?
No. Were they winning that?
No.
No. But everybody, listen.
Everybody on Earth was.
Everybody on Earth. Everybody was fixated on that man every single day.
It was the lead story of everything. News program. We're talking about the nightly news.
I was like 15, 16, dude, didn't care about baseball at all, and he was everywhere. We're sitting down as a family watching. You know what I mean? Like, it was so big. Cole.
They only won 83 games that year.
Yeah,
I
dude.
did not know that.
Packed every night, dude.
So here's
with
this.
the big bopper.
I think if they had Aaron Judge, well, first of all, they'd be a little bit better.
I'd go watch him every single night.
I don't think one guy, no matter who unless he's like Ohtani, who can pitch to, we'll see if he can pitch, to Tommy Johns, I don't know. But I don't think just one guy, even the best guy, just drop him into a lineup and all of a sudden they're 15 games better. I don't think it's that simple.
But hold on.
I'm just talking about bringing fans,
interest, excitement. Yes.
The year Judge won the MVP, I got to find it here. I'm pretty sure his WAR was better than Ohtani's as a two-way player, which is insane for that to happen. So right now, Aaron Judge's WAR for 2024 through 60-something games is 4.2. Isn't it fair to say the Cardinals have some replacement-level outfielders? So is it fair to say the Cardinals would be about 4 games better if they had Aaron Judge? I think that's fair.
Yeah, and
That puts them above 500, but it doesn't make them the Phillies by any means.
Who would you want to watch?
Makes them 1 game above 500.
But as a fan, to spend money to go see live, who would you rather see do their thing? Aaron Judge
or Michael Ciani?
No. Or Bryce Harper.
Man, I love Bryce Harper.
God dang, he's fun.
To me, also, Bryce Harper brings an edge, and he brings an attitude.
Yeah,
which
emotion.
Aaron Judge is great, but he's kind of soft spoken, just does his thing. Harper gets fired up. He bat flips. He freaking flips his hair. He gets after umps.
Yeah, he does crazy things. Like, he's emotional. He'll show his emotion, which I like too.
Bryce Harper also swings angry. So even when he misses the ball,
he's a lefty.
There's something. I don't want to say intimidating because I don't think baseball players are intimidating. No. I'm sorry. Tommy Pham shadowboxing by himself in the corner.
Albert Bell.
Nah, okay. Not too many baseball players are intimidating. Well, maybe Carpenter.
He actually was.
But is he maybe big boy?
It's just because there aren't that many fights.
No,
your team gets in like one fight a year, maybe 2.
Those aren't fights.
Yeah,
there's one punch thrown, dude.
Bryce Harper's WAR is 2, so Aaron Judge is over double that.
Okay, Yasiel Puig was intimidating. That dude would fly off the handle. But anyway, back to the discussion.
Yeah.
There's something like angry with the way that Bryce Harper swings.
Damn right.
That just captivates you and makes you interested. That dude looks like he is trying to knock the laces off of the baseball every single time he swings.
So he'd be the most exciting player. Besides, we're putting Ohtani aside, but Bryce Harper's number one that you'd like to see. You would pay extra money to go down, and even if they weren't that good, just to watch that dude play. He's like number one?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Right now.
Who else is really, really exciting?
Dude, Ohtani's like one of the best hitters in the league.
He's not in it. We're just we're because he's number one probably.
Oh, okay.
But right now it's a fair conversation because he's not pitching.
Are we just talking about one player to make the Cardinals more interesting?
More interesting, not win. Just like you would spend the money to go watch this particular player play, even if the team was not that good. You don't have starting pitching. Your base running's bad, but you got freaking this guy, and I love watching him play. Who is it?
It's Ohtani, then it's Harper for me.
Okay, and then who?
Well, he's
Soto.
He's hurt now. I'm a huge Ronald Acuna Jr. fan.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And he can steal bases. Did he have 40 and 70 last year? 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases?
Something like that.
So I'm a huge Acuna supporter. He tore his ACL, so he's done for the year.
That sucks.
But Soto's really interesting in part because he's a free agent at the end of the year, and it's going to be a payday like you.
What is it going to be, Cole? What's he going to be making?
$500 minimum.
Woo doggy.
Well, I mean that's in total. So if his contract's like 13 years, that's different than 500 over like 9 years.
And he's super young.
Yes, he came up at like 19 years old.
Figured it out quick.
So yeah, he's been a big deal.
How old was he when the Cardinals played him in the postseason?
I think maybe he had turned 20. Didn't he come up as a 19-year-old?
Yeah.
He was grabbing his crotch and kind of doing his thing at the plate,
A guy who's kind of been really bursting onto the scene, too, is Bobby Witt Jr. with the Royals.
That's who I was going to say.
So he's a
Big bopper.
shortstop.
Does it all, athletic,
Yeah.
runs.
I think he's just a well-rounded baseball player. I'm sure power is a part of his game.
Juan Soto right now is 25.
Damn, man.
So he's about to hit free agency. So his birthday is October 25th. So you're going to get him
Oh, my gosh.
starting at age 26.
Cam, I'm telling you, free agents, like when players hit their first free agency, it is usually 28 to 32 years old. And so you want to get like the 28-year-olds. 26 years old's unheard of.
And look at this.
Because they didn't even want him up at that young of an age because in this that's why he's a free agent at a younger age. So,
But he was so good.
But that's what I mean. He was that good that we're like,
And-
we have to play the dude.
And they were all in because it was a World Series year.
No, that was the next year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He was up in 18.
That just shows.
2018 as a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
And hit 22 bombs and slugged 500 over, on base over 400, second in a Rookie of the Year. The next year when they won the World Series, he played 150 games. He was ninth in the MVP in his age 20 season.
$500 million, dude.
So think about it.
For you, kid.
He's making $31 million this year in arbitration. So if you just say what you said, Cole, which is, let's just say he gets a 13-year deal, which is probably going to happen. He'll have a million opt-outs, don't get me wrong. He'll have an opt-out probably like every 2 years.
Yeah.
But 31, hold on a second. 31 times 13 feels like about 500, doesn't it? 31 times 13 equals. That's 403.
So, but he's making 31
Well,
now.
hell,
He's probably going to make it 35, 36.
Jacob, old-ass Jacob DeGrom, injury-prone Jacob DeGrom is making $35 million a year, so we can bump that up
But
a little
pitchers, starting pitcher AAV is a little different. What's the highest AAV? Is it Trout?
bit. Right now?
Or a position player? On a long deal.
I was actually waiting for you and Matt Wendner to be on the same day because I don't think that you'll go research this and ruin the fun, but I was going to ask you kind of like put together a list of all the people who have been the most high. I shouldn't say most highest because that's obviously redundant, but putting together a list of people from 2000 to now in Major League Baseball who has been the highest paid baseball player in the league.
Okay, hold on.
Various points.
Trout's is
I explained that
an
horribly.
AAV of 35.5.
Jesus.
Trout's deal is $426.5 million over 12 years. So that's about $36 million a year. And I think Aaron Judge was right around that. Aaron Judge is 9 years, $360 million. So what is that?
40.
360. Oh, that's, yeah.
Nine times 4 is
Yeah, that's a
36.
nice clean 40. And he's way older.
He
So that's
came
why,
up old.
Yeah, so Soto.
Judge?
Yeah, he came up at like
yeah.
25.
He went to college too. So if Aaron Judge gets 40 a year, Soto's gonna get 40 a year. So what's 40 times
Oh, he's going
13?
to get more than that.
So let's say he gets 42 AAV times 13. That's 546.
My God.
So I bet you he
That's
gets
the minimum.
it's going to start with a 5 because also he's a Boris guy. That's going to be a huge deal for the first contract to start with a 5. It's going to start with a 5. They're going to find a way for it to start with a 5. Guaranteed.
Wow.
So they're only going to be like 5 teams talking to him because that's how this goes. Actually, you know what? They're actually
What teams?
there are more big spenders in Major League Baseball than you actually think. There are like 8 of them, but both New York spent a lot of money.
They do.
And basically the entire universe thinks that it's going to be the Mets because the Mets kind of punted on this year a little bit, and they also have a lot of money tied up in both Verlander and Scherzer,
coming
who are
off the
pitching.
books.
Yeah, who are pitching for other teams.
Yeah.
I might add, but everybody thinks it's going to be the Mets just because that guy is willing to spend the most money. Cohen is. The Yankees spend a lot of money. The Rangers spend a lot of money.
Dodgers.
If he wants to ruin his career, the Angels like to spend a lot of money. Now it always ends up
They're
going.
going to touch that?
Yeah, they're gonna talk.
They're going to try
him.
to?
The Dodgers, because keep in mind, a lot of Ohtani's money is going to be spent like 10 years from now.
Yeah, dude.
So the Dodgers are in the mix.
It's going to be Yankees.
The Blue Jays have been spending a lot of money lately.
But he can't. Here's the deal.
Where's he going to play?
He can't have an amazing season with the Yankees and then the Yankees let him walk. I'm not saying the Mets won't up the price, but I would be very surprised if it's not the Yankees.
But Hal Steinbrenner just came out and said their current payroll situation is not sustainable.
To me, I mean, do you really believe that? The Yankees are now crying poor?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Well, maybe not poor, but not as rich. Like even if they scale it back just a little bit.
I don't buy that, meaning they're not going to be super in on the Soto sweepstakes.
It's a lazy take, but I think it's going to be the Mets just because that guy Cohen has been proven that he really does not spare expenses.
What position does he play?
Corner outfield.
So who would he beat out if the Dodgers wanted him? Who's their outfield?
Well, hell, Mookie Betts just moved in. Teoscar Hernandez, who's pretty good, he's on a 1-year contract, so he's coming off. Who the hell? They just played the Pirates last night. I should know who their
Come on,
outfield
Cole.
is.
He might get a 15-year deal.
Jesus.
15 years would take him to age 40. They're paying
Xander
dudes.
Bogaerts just
Yes.
went to year 41.
That's what I'm saying. But what they're doing is they're doing that to lower the AAV for the competitive balance tax, whatever they're calling it. Essentially, they're saying, okay, instead of a 10-year deal, we'll stretch it out so that it eases our payroll year to year.
If one guy makes a big difference, Mike Trout has not helped the Angels. Eastside Steve, Mike Trout and Ohtani, and they kind of went all in. Was that 2 years ago too?
No, last year.
It was last year, right?
Which
Yeah.
was foolish.
Rendon contract
then they want to try
was
to win
horrible.
with the two big boys. They know that one's gone.
Yeah.
Why not go all in? Actually, at the time, I'm like, good for you. And then nothing. I mean, they lost.
Well, they kind of didn't know that Ohtani was gone. It was kind
Really?
of like he could go, but maybe the Angels will still be in the mix because, like I said, Angels like to spend. But
don't you appreciate what they did last year? Like, we got these two guys. I mean, let's try to get what they try to sign a pitcher. They try to do this.
Why not do it for the whole time, though? I mean, they've never had pitching.
I don't know.
Going back to Pujols,
Yeah.
they signed C.J. Wilson. I mean, you've
That
had
didn't
amazing players. I know Pujols was the second half of his career, but you had Pujols, you had Shohei, you have Mike Trout. Who's been their best pitcher over that span besides Shohei? Who's been the Angels' best pitcher?
1 year
Starter.
of a guy named Matt Schumacher.
That tells you a lot.
Yeah, it's been like Griffin Canning and, R.I.P. Tyler Skaggs. It's been a bunch of just like random dudes.
What happened with him? Oh, overdose.
I think drugs and then throwing and choking on his vomit.
There it is, Cole.
I think. And
you know what happens?
Then there was a huge deal about who gave him the drugs, and there was a trial about that.
Yeah.
So that was a big story a few years
big
ago.
time story. Oxycontin, and he was because when you puke on it, and and you're so tired where you just choke. Just a lot of heroin addicts die from it too. You choke on your puke, dude.
Like Andrew Haney,
God.
Andrew Haney.
who's now on Hill. Is it the Yankees? I don't know.
We'll check on that.
12 hours in this heat, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Give me your guys' best pump-up songs of the week. I'm only a day 2 of 5. I put 22,000 steps in a day in the heat last week. Pretty good for a big bag of milk. Cucker Tarleson. Man, good for you, dude. You're working your ass off outside. What do you do, by the way? Now I'm curious.
22,000 steps?
Wow, man. He's bright. You work outside, man, in this heat. See these guys doing construction, doing the asphalt ceiling. Ay, 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 ay. Good for you, man. We sit here like jackasses, and Cole and I are like, I'm hot, I'm cold.
Yeah, I put in the work.
We all put in the work.
Afterwards,
No.
What do you do?
We all put in the work.
I've been grinding 5-mile walks / lifts.
Yeah, I know.
So that'll take me up to like 2.5 hours minimum.
This guy's
Every day?
outside doing his thing, dude.
So I do like a 4-day cycle thing, and I don't know if this is the proper way to do it, but I kind of just made it up on my own. So it's back and biceps, then it's legs, then it's chest and triceps, and then it's cardio day, which is like it's either just jumping rope or
Jump ropes, dude. In the heat,
yeah.
you jump rope like outside.
What about shoulders?
Big time.
Shoulders goes with chest and tris.
That's a lot.
And then abs are on the leg days and the cardio days.
That's a good system, dude. Absolutely. You just got to keep doing it.
Hey, the last time I went home, my youngest brother was like noticeably more in shape than me. Like I would try to play
No
basketball.
one went, wait.
I tried playing pickup basketball with him.
That
No-
sends a message.
No one looked at you because you've been gone for a while and said, "Damn, Cole, you look good." No one said that in your
No,
family.
his brother looked better than him.
Like way better.
No one said
That's
you look
eye-opening,
fit.
isn't it?
You work. You
That
work.
inspired you, didn't it?
Oh, it
Wow.
sure did.
Super motivated you.
Yeah. So and when I go home, I eat whatever I want because I'm like, all right, I'm not on my usual schedule. I can break some rules. And so I'm trying all the new things in my parents' pantry that I haven't seen.
Are they good cooks?
Yeah, I mean, they don't cook often.
What about your dad?
Does he cook for
he
you?
a good
Or does he
cook?
just cook for the rest of the family?
My dad's a big breakfast cooker. He's big on like breakfast omelets, breakfast sandwiches.
So everybody gets omelets and you get some gruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets the gruel.
I get
the porridge.
I get a lump of coal on my plate.
Porridge.
Porridge. Yeah, it's the Great
Please,
Depression.
sir,
of
may I
mine.
have some more? What is it? May I have another? What is it? I want some more.
Can I get some more porridge?
Can I have some more porridge?
Man.
What movie are we recording?
I don't
feel like it's a-
remember. Of Christmas
Is it like
movie.
Natty Gann back in the day?
Christmas movie,
Speaking
maybe?
of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I think it's a movie like that.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't doubt
I thought
that.
it was like a Christmas movie.
Can I have some more gruel?
The kids are poor.